All right. Last week, the Hall of Fame game, Shedeur Sanders tomorrow gets his first start. It may only be the preseason, but J-Mac knows. He knows how the playoffs are going to settle. He's way ahead of us here in early August. So we call this segment Tomorrow's Headlines Today. Let's roll it. What will the headline be for the number 7 seed, the final seed in the NFC playoffs?
All right, so we're working backwards here. There are some surprises because as you've taught me in the last few years here on the show, there's a lot of new playoff teams every year, some we don't see coming. So the number 7 seed in the NFC, the headline will be Marvin the Martian. Cosmic quarterback connection disrupts NFC universe. I have the Arizona Cardinals sneaking in as the number 7 seed. Marvin Harrison obviously will make a massive leap in year 2. Really struggled as a rookie, but Colin, that offense should be sick in year 3 under Jonathan Gannon. Kyler Murray sounds like he's gotten back to the books, if you will. Obviously, McBride's one of the best tight ends in the league. The run game is formidable. Colin, this is a team that played everybody tough last year. Remember, they came out of the gate. They were fighting hard. The schedule was just difficult. Now, obviously, you get a much better schedule. You get the offensive continuity. I have currently all 11 starters are back from last year. Currently, that's a projection. That's very good news. I have Arizona sneaking in as the 7 seed.
Don't hate it. You know I like Kyler Murray. Tomorrow's headlines today. What's the number 6 seed in the NFC?
Okay, this team's not going to sneak up on anybody in year 2, but they also, continuity is a theme for me. They had a really good year last year. I think they do most of it again. The headline for the number 6 seed will be Federal Reserved Commanders keep the rate of interest high. Sorry for the political jargon, but it's funny. Yeah, so I like Washington a lot. Listen, man, you add Deebo Samuel, Laramie Tunsil, like those are big-time pickups. Obviously, the defense still has holes, and it would be remiss of me not to mention that Washington was pretty damn lucky on 4th down last year, one of the best 4th down seasons the league has ever seen. They were incredible in the red zone. Going to be tough to duplicate that. And as we often talk about, Colin, when you've seen a year of film on Jaden Daniels and he killed almost everyone, a lot of defensive coordinators will be adjusting to Daniels. He's not going to be able to scoot and scramble for as many first downs as he did last year. Remember, this guy, Colin, was doing things on 3rd down to set up 4th down so he could run for it on 4th down. And if you remember early in the season against Tampa, I think it was a season opener, he was running a lot and getting hit. And I was like, there's no way this is sustainable. And he started to pull back on the running. Started to win from the pocket. As long as McLaurin's in, and I think it's going to be fine, you add Deebo, I think Washington's good. I have them as the 6th seed in the NFC.
Tomorrow's headlines today. The 5 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, this one's a no-brainer. I think you have them a little higher. We've got them going back to the playoffs with their veteran quarterback. The headline for the 5th seed will be Stafford infection. Rams quarterback spreads winning culture again. Yes, Matthew Stafford. I'm of the belief he's going to be fine. This back thing is just chatter. Obviously, if that goes awry, that would be very, very bad news for the Rams. But Devontae Adams, I mean, I saw a list that said he was the number 1 pickup of any team in the offseason.
I think that they've been really, really pleased.
Yeah, and you got Puka Nacua, who is, you know, I see some people betting him for Offensive Player of the Year. Like, he could put up massive numbers as defenses have to adjust for Devontae. Kyron Williams back in the fold. You love the defense. I feel like you're the agent for Jared Verse sometimes, hyping him up on every show. But this team is legit, and as we've noted many times, they pushed Philly harder than anybody in that playoff game. Stafford was driving, I think, in the red zone for the go-ahead score.
Tomorrow's headlines today, the number 4 seed. I got a feeling where it's going in the NFC.
All right, so now we've got the division winners, and I know these guys won the Super Bowl. I don't think it's going to be as easy. I don't. The headline for the number 4 seed will be the Philadelphia Eagles, Goddard late than never. Eagles pop their clutch after slow start. I do think there will be a little struggles out of the gate for Philly. Obviously, the target on their back after winning the Super Bowl. The schedule is brutal. Let's just be upfront with that. They have one of the toughest schedules in the NFC. I do still think they win the division. Colin, largely because I don't trust the Giants, and I don't think much of the Cowboys. I think Washington has as tough a schedule or tougher than Philly. So I've got the Eagles right around 10 wins. Would not be surprised if it's 9. Listen, they're not going to be the juggernaut that we saw in the playoffs. They're just not. Okay, they lost several guys on defense. Jalen Hurts, another offensive coordinator, which is seemingly the case every year for him. So I think the Eagles are very good. It's just tough for me to start talking repeat, number 1 seed and all that. I think they slide in as the 4th seed in the NFC.
Yeah, and NFC is getting better every year. Tomorrow's headlines today. Let's go. The number 3 seed in the National Football Conference.
Here's where we start to get a little bit spicy. I know you're waiting for your Bears. And we're the Vikings, J-Man. We're the Vikings. The headline for the number 3 seed in the NFC will be, what's in your wallet? New gold card increases quarterback spinning. Yes, I like the Matthew Golden pickup for the Packers. I have them Packers winning the division. Now, Colin, if you are tracking closely, you didn't see any wildcard teams out of the NFC North. I think the Packers now win the division. I've come around here in August. Offseason, I love Minnesota. Starting to back off just a little. I think this Packers offense is going to be a machine. Jordan Love, remember, was not healthy last year.
That's right.
In the opener, I think it was the last play of the game, throwing a Hail Mary against Philly, got twisted up. Was never really the same last year. What's he going to be with a healthy Watson, Golden in the mix? There's a lot to like about the Packers offense. And let's be real, LaFleur, I know we haven't talked about him. If you do a top 10 list of coaches, he's got to be top 5 in the league.
Yeah, no, Matt knows what he's doing. 2 more. Tomorrow's headlines today. Very interesting. I think something pretty interesting for the number 2 seed is coming.
So this is a team you never like to bet on because the lack of consistency has been their bugaboo. That changes. The headline for the number 2 seed in the NFC will be Bijan Voyage. Swift Family Robinsons sail past mid-tier peers. Yes, Colin, I'm doing it. I'm all in on the Atlanta Falcons securing the number 2 seed in the NFC. Now, a lot of it has to do with their offseason. I know people didn't like that draft trade. It could hurt them down the road. But, Colin, when you're one of the worst teams getting to the quarterback, you add 3 edge rushers in the offseason, Leonard Floyd, and then 2 in the draft. I love it. It's what you got to do. Their back end held down really well in the secondary. And I just want to remind people that Kirk Cousins, for as bad as he was last year, murdered the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in both meetings. Just crushed them. And, oh, by the way, just by the by, Atlanta benched Cousins in favor of Penix. So Cousins wasn't even good through a league-leading, this number's crazy, 4 interceptions in the final 2 minutes of games. Like, Kirk Cousins just killed Atlanta. Now you upgrade with Penix. I like what I saw in the limited edition late in the season. I have Atlanta doing well, and Tampa just a little too much change, another OC. By the way, Tampa, you know who faced the most backup quarterbacks last year? Tampa Bay. Went 4-1 against backups. Okay? I think Atlanta wins the division. Get on board with the Falcons, Colin.
You pick Atlanta to win the division. I just moved all my money to Bitcoin, so we're in the same boat. Finally, tomorrow's headlines today. I know what it is. I just want to see the headline.
You know what it is. Come on. They're going to be number 1. The schedule is the easiest in the NFL by any metric you want. The headline for the number 1 seed in the NFC will be no Brock Bottom. Purdy helps Niners reach their ceiling. Start to feel it, Colin. It's 49ers season coming for you. I know right now the wide receiver room has everybody panicking. They're picking up guys off the scrap heap because they're like, oh, wait a minute. Brandon Ayuk's not ready yet. Jawan Jennings is kind of beefing with us. Ricky Pearsall, like, we need more. So there is some concern about the wide receiver room. You're concerned about the defense. I'm just putting my faith in Brock Purdy. The return of Christian McCaffrey, kind of a big deal. Obviously, your boy George Kittle, shotgunner of beers, still an elite tight end. I love this team. I'm thinking 12 or 13 wins.
Yeah, you know what pick is really interesting, and I thought your nugget was great. Arizona, I think Gannon's one of those guys that people in the league know he's good, but we don't talk. I mean, the Rams are high profile. The Niners are high profile. You know, Seattle's got Darnold, and now that coach from the Ravens, McDonald. So people talk about Seattle. Arizona's sneaking in. we forget sometimes. Marvin Harrison came into the league. If you believe the rumors that Kyler Murray is not a grinder, is it possible that Marvin Harrison and Kyler Murray needed a full year together, right, to be great? I think that's a really interesting pick because I like their personnel. I really do. I think they've got 5 or 6 really elite players, and I'm sorry, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a really good player. But if you believe the rumors that Kyler's not a film grinder, then you could say, well, it's going to take a little longer for that to work. I don't love your Atlanta pick, but the division's so weak. It could certainly, I do think Penix is excellent, but the Arizona pick took a little guts in a division with McVay and Shanahan and a coach in Seattle they like. I kind of like that pick.
So I have 3 new teams. Niners, which, I guess they're new because they were injured last year. Falcons and Cardinals. So 3 of the 7 new. I don't know. You don't seem that surprised. No Lions?
Well, I mean, if I still have a couple weeks to make my final pick. Yeah. Listen, Albert Breer's the second person that's told me, Cincinnati's offense looks absolutely insane. And the truth is Cleveland's bad, so they're going to win 2 games there, and I think they're going to beat Pittsburgh twice. So Cincinnati is one of those teams that didn't make it in. It's hard for me to go against Burrow, who I thought last year for many weeks was the best player in the league. And I think the Niners' schedule, I do worry, though. Saleh helps. Hufanga and Greenlaw. Hufanga is a great player. So is Greenlaw. If Bosa gets hurt, that defense is average. J-Mac's in tomorrow. We'll see. It's the Herd.